Hi there, it's Trisha, and I wanted to go over a couple things from Monday the 23rd and Tuesday the 24th. We'll use a handful of setups on a couple charts with indicators for confirmation before we ever take a trade. And if you'd like to get more information about the setups, you can go to www.easyemintrade.com. And we've been talking about news and trading first thing in the morning. So with news and the new counter channel continuation setup that we've been using, we're willing to take entries right around news coming out, not right at the time news comes out, but if we're in or something sets up just prior to or just after, definitely willing to take it because the back testing proved that it worked out. It worked out well. The other thing was typically when I was trading the squeeze majority of the time, I wasn't willing to take a trade first thing in the morning. I always waited till after 9:40 because before that the squeeze would usually get stopped out. It's a totally different setup. So last Thursday we had that huge move down, and so it prompted us to start discussing taking something first thing in the morning, not necessarily at 9:30 but before 9:40. So I thought definitely something to consider. Then Monday, this is Monday that we're looking at, when this occurred at basically 9:36, 9:35, I thought, okay, definitely time to go back and test the theory of taking the Keltner channel continuation setup, earlier than 9:40. As I said, it's totally different setup than the squeeze, so it definitely had the possibility to work. And guess what? Looking back, through September, October, and November, there would have been 19 trades that I would have been, actually 20 including yesterday, but 20 trades willing to take, and 19 of them worked. So that pretty much says it all. There were still trades that I would pass on that I did not include in that. Anything that occurred around the 50% retracement, the high, low, and close from the previous day, and you still have to pay attention to major support and resistance areas. So when looking back through September, October, and November, anything that occurred around those items I excluded. And there were some setups around those that did work, but not anything that I would have taken for that reason. So that was, that's enough for me to change my mind and take something before 9:40. So I'm now willing to use the Keltner channel continuation setup before 9:40. I'm not too sure about like 9:32, 9:33. I'll have to pay attention to that. Majority of the trades occurred between 9:35 and 9:38. If they were before 9:40 when looking back, there were some that occurred at 9:32, 9:33. And the interesting thing was, if there was something that set up that early, you did have another opportunity to get on in the pullback at around 9:36, 9:37 times. So just good to know. So this was Monday. This was the day that prompted me to get moving with looking back. First thing in the morning, you got to close outside the channel. You got your indicator above 20 and rising, green's above the red, and we know that we've got a resistance area above our head here at 1107 created last week. But there's plenty of room. So this would have worked out great. Obviously, you can see that. So unfortunately, this was before I was willing to take it before 9:40. So we did have a couple trades on Monday that were on the small side, basically for 3/4 of a point. We had this set up here for 3/4 of a point, and that was at what time? 12:29. And then we had one later in the day. Let's find it here for the same thing. It took a while to work, but it did finally work. And that was at 1:37. So it was like, if you didn't get that trade first thing in the morning, then you didn't really have much else to do except some range trading. And then this was yesterday, Tuesday. So first thing in the morning, we have a setup occur. You're going sideways here at the 50% retracement, and you do get closed outside the channel first thing in the morning, we're not interested in any of that. But even if you were looking to get in under one of those bars, you wouldn't have been filled. So this actually was the bar. I wanted to get something under the 50% retracement. So we got closed under that area here, traded to our entry, which was a quarter below there, and kind of had to sweat it out for a little while it decided what it was going to do here, and then boom. So this was the 1100 area, and we know that looking at the daily chart, that's a really strong support area. So depending on how you managed it, you likely took something off the table here at 1100 and probably expecting it to bounce. But obviously keeping at least a contract or two open, you had the opportunity to do very well, 4 or 5 points easily. So, and other than that, yesterday, was really quiet after that. So I don't know if today will be a lot of the same. Basically just range trades is all you could have done after that. So I hope that helps, and glad I went in armed with my numbers yesterday, willing to take this trade. So, so very happy about that. So as I said, the Keltner channel, we've only been trading it live for a short while. Maybe a little better than a month or so, but we did have the back testing and so forth before we actually started to take it, and it's been working out so great. I just can't even tell you how happy I am with it. So anyway, if you're interested in checking out the setups, just go to the website and you can get more information. So I hope that helps, and I hope you all have a wonderful and happy Thanksgiving.